Hey everybody, good morning there. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Today I've been talking about people around the empty tomb, but I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about the Apostle Paul. I've been thinking about the Apostle Paul. Read some things about him yesterday and this morning actually that have prompted what I want to share. You know, Paul in 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7, in 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7, Paul's at the end of his life, and he's writing this, but in essence, he's able to look you in the eye, and he's able to say, "I have fought the good fight, I've finished the race, and I've kept the faith." Paul is able to look you in the eye at the end of his life and say, "You know what? I have fulfilled the mission for which God had for me. I have remained faithful and true. I have finished the race that God set out for me." Let me ask you something. What's keeping you from finishing the race? What's keeping you from not fulfilling the mission that God has from you? What's keeping you from going to church, but not just going to, I'm not just talking about going to church on Sunday morning. What's keeping you from being a part of a church? What's keeping you from going to worship? What's keeping you from serving God through serving that church and being actively involved in the ministry for the kingdom of God? What is it that's keeping you from doing that? Seriously. You know, we've talked about some of things that these people that were around the tomb, a great sadness and despondency, maybe a great discouragement. Maybe you've won through a great time and you just sort of laid down and you just never picked it back up and began to follow God again. Maybe I shared with you a little bit about my testimony yesterday. Maybe you were just disappointed with God and you tried to quit. I tried to quit, and maybe you just kind of let it go but it's time to get back. Maybe it's something much more simple. Maybe it's your newfound love for golf or fishing. Maybe it's your new fish camp, your new hunting camp. Maybe it's your house that you're building. Maybe it's your business that you're building. Maybe it's the kids, baseball, football, basketball, whatever. What is it that is keeping you, whatever it is, however important, however big, however small, what is it that's keeping you from actively serving God, so that you can say at the end of your life, I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, and I've kept the faith? The Apostle Paul, he writes this in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, starting in verse 22. This is just a little bit of Paul's testimony, all right, by his own hand. Now, I'm reading from a more modern day translation. It's called The Voice. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, starting in verse 23. Paul says, I have worked harder for God's kingdom. I've taken more beatings. I've been dragged in and out of prisons. I've been eye to eye with death. 5 times I withstood 39 lashes from Jewish authorities. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was almost stoned to death. 3 times I was shipwrecked. I spent a day and a night adrift at sea. I've been on many journeys and faced the most extreme circumstances. Perilous rivers, violent thieves, threats by my own people and by the Gentile outsiders alike. I've faced dangers in the city, in the wilderness, and at sea. Danger from spies among our brothers and sisters. I have survived toil and hardships, sleepless nights, hunger and thirst without a crumb in sight, and bare to the cold. And if these external trials weren't enough, there's the daily stress I feel and anxiety I carry for all the churches that are under my care. Prison, beating, stoned to death, shipwreck, hungry, naked, robbed, beaten. And yet at the end he could say, I've fought the good fight. I've finished the course. I've kept the faith. What's keeping you from finishing the race? Get out there in faith today. Love you guys. Bye.